Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to this video. My name is David Trigg and I'm going to show you today how I produced my latest lo-fi hip-hop chill beat called Done With That. So let's get right into it. Let me first play you the track so you can hear a little bit of what it sounds like. Okay, so let's get into the different instruments that I used. First of all, we're in Logic Pro X, but you can use any of these techniques in Ableton, which I use a lot, FL, which I also use, or your favorite DAW, Pro Tools, Reason, GarageBand. Now, in this first instrument called lead, I'm using more of a Rhodes sound, so let me first solo this. Now, let me open the instrument that I'm using. I'm using the built-in piano by Logic, and it's called the Suitcase Mark I Bright, and this is what it sounds like. I have my MIDI keyboard here. So it's just your typical kind of Rhodes sound, which you can get in your own DAW. And then as far as EQing, I brought down some of the lows here, so as you can see, that's just a little bit too much of the lows, but that cleans it up. See, hear that? And the reason you want to do that, let me go back to about 200 megahertz hertz you want to bring off, roll off. It's because you want the low end, the kick, the bass. If you actually want something that's more of a synth pad to show up, you want that to be here in this particular area of your frequency meter. So that's the lead. As far as any particular plugins, I'm using a compressor right there. I'm not using any sidechain at this point. No need to really do much with that. I'm gonna maybe bring that up a little bit. Then I also have a bus, which is basically tied into my EQ, to my reverb. You can use reverb or more delay. So those are the two buses that I have here. So once again, let me play just the Rhodes track. That's the MIDI down there. So as far as the chords, I'm in D minor. So it's just D minor, a D minor to A minor, and then back to D minor, A, and then it goes to F major, and then to C, back to F major, and then back to the root, D minor. Now let's move to the second track, which I think is very similar, but it's simpler. It's just kind of like a pad in some ways, very quiet chords. I'm using the same sound, the bright, the Rhodes patch, and then using the same compressor, the same exact settings or plugins for this particular track. Same settings. And let me play both of these together. So one is brighter, the other one's lower. Now let's go to the bass. The bass is pretty simple. Here's the track. First of all, just soloed. There's a MIDI down below. Now for this, I'm using the EXS24, the muted electric bass setting right here, just off of the stuck plugins, and I added a little bit of volume. There we go. Not much with the LFOs, no need to really do much with this. Polyphonic, so you can have all the notes, 16 voices. As far as the plugins, I'm using the bass amp setting, which is stock to Logic, and then the compressor once again. Now I believe I do have the sidechain up here to the kick right there. Very nice. I also have a little flanger in here, just a little bit. Pedal board adds a little bit of kick, a little bit of fire, fat burner. It's one of my favorite ones. I don't always have it on, but just a little bit. Notice the difference. Not really necessary. I only bring it in as needed. And then I already showed you the EQ, or did I? Again, I roll off a little bit of the lows, not too much, because you do want some of this stuff here at 100 or so. The ear only can hear 50 from 50 hertz onward. And so anything below is just really extra noise. So let's try this. Here it is. Beautiful. So that's the bass. Now let's go to the strings. Maybe my favorite track. Just simple 2-note pattern there. I'm using again the EXS24, the string ensemble, same volume at about -2 dBs, not too hot. Strings, you don't want it to be too hot because it'll take over the whole sonic frequency of your track. You want to bring that down, roll off the lows as much as possible without getting rid of the beauty of cellos and such. So as you notice here. Not much, I'm not doing too much to it, just enough. Now let's go to the drums. For the drums, I use my own drum pack, and you can get that at davidtrigg.com/drums. It's my own drum machine settings that I use. And so basically this is it right here. And so that's my kick. And you can get this, as I said, at davidtrigg.com/drums. So for that, I'm using a multiplier, which is also built into Logic, phaser, amp, a compressor. And as I said, I'm side chaining the 808 or the bass to the kick here. And so you'll see that on the other end, on the 808 end of things. Now on lo-fi music, you don't want to have that, you don't want to have too much high end. So that clap, for example, let's say I wanted to have this clap be less high end. Let's bring that in. Maybe it's the hi-hat that we want to bring down a bit. The way you want to do that is you go to the EQ and then you roll off some of the some of the highs. Just like that. Let's do the same thing with the clap. There we go. Just enough. Yeah. Here's the MIDI. Well, and that pretty much does it. That's pretty much the track. As you can see, it's just 4 or 5 different sounds, bass, drums, etc. 2 tracks for the lead, 1 for the bass, and the strings, I think, is what really does the magic. Now, let me show you one last thing before I forget. Let me go back to my master track so you can see that. Just X here in Logic, which takes you to this window. On the master track, I guess I can't make that any bigger. On the master track, which is right here, the stereo, I like to add limiter, compression, and a channel EQ. So the limiter, it's just adding a little bit of juice, just at 6 dBs, just a little bit more. The compressor, same thing, just a little bit of threshold. And then the EQ, just a taste. Roll off the lows a bit, a little bit of bring up the highs. Again, you're thinking lo-fi, so you want those highs and those mids to be somewhat tamed, and then you want that low to be warm. Okay, so that does now this time conclude the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get this free track as a gift to you, just go to davidtrigg.com/beats, davidtrigg.com/beats, and you can get this audio file as a WAV MP3 for use in your own project for free as a gift to you for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.